think you can sing?
I've worked with Johnny several times, and obviously this is new, him singing. When he said yes, that was good enough for me.
All right, you, sir. How about a shout? You, sir. Two, sir. Welcome to the grave.
Oh, Mr. Todd, I'm so happy. I could eat you up, I really could. You know what I'd like to do, Mr. Todd? What I dream. If the business stays as good, where I'd really like to go.
Well, with Helena, that's a hard character. That one, musically, is the hardest.
Mrs. Lovett's always on the go. She's out there dishing pies out. She's got to move and sing a lot.
That's what it is. When you get it, never thought I'd live to see the day. It's like the Olympics of multitasking. Times is
In Pirelli's entrance, Sacha Baron Cohen comes out of...
I am Adolfo Pirelli, the king of the barbers, the barber of kings. Buongiorno, good day. I blow you a kiss.
He's got an amazing voice, and it's just hysterical.
And I, the so famous Pirelli, I wish to know who has the nerve to say.
Sit, sir. Sit.
The music is sort of constant, and it slips in and out of speech and song.
You see, sir, a man infatuated with love, hard and tendiga slay.
Because it's in real rooms and real spaces, the move from speaking into singing becomes much more organic.
But first, sir, I think a shame.
There's a very, very thin membrane between the acting and the singing.
The closest I ever get.
The songs are expression of what's going on inside the character, so there's the seamlessness.
Your delights are catching fire from one man to the next.
'Tis true, sir, love can still inspire the blood to pound the heartly pyre. What more?
What more
Can man require than love, sir?
more than love, sir?
What's there?
Women,
Ah, yes, women.
pretty women.
On the set while we're doing it, we're singing it, we're belting it out.
Pretty women, sir, pretty women.
The thing that one remembers is the fact that you're singing. I couldn't have predicted that that was going to happen, and can't quite believe that it has.
Everybody in the film has done a great vocal performance.
To watch everybody do that and do it well, that was quite a thrilling thing for me.
Everybody expects surprises from a Tim Burton film. And it's Sweeney Todd like you've never heard it before, really.
Well, this is our first time with Academy Award winner Dante Ferretti as a production designer, and he's exceeded our expectations.
The team is very special. Director, the look of the movie is very important for him.
I love working with Dante. I've been aware of his work for many years. You know, he worked with Fellini and many other great filmmakers. You walk by his room and you see him doing this large-scale drawing that's really beautiful. It reminds you that you're making a film.
I did my sketches to give the right feeling for the movie.
You see him on the set, you can tell he really cares, and he cares about every aspect and the texture and the paint. That excites me. It excites the actors. It gets everybody going. It reminds you that you're making a film.
What you'll see on screen is a beautifully imagined world, and it's certainly pushed artistically.
The first idea was to make this film very moody, very dark, a lot of contrast, very graphic. Then he works with Dante, he builds the sets which are also very monochromatic, very stark. So that was like a general approach to film.
It's Victorian movie London, sort of horror movie London. It wasn't realistic in terms of the setting, but we tried to make realistic in terms of the emotion of the characters.
The sets are absolutely fantastic. This is the filmmaking that you kind of fantasize about, where they rebuild Fleet Street in a studio.
Fleet Street, the real street in London, and of course it's the location where there is the pie shop and the barber shop. It's very, very busy place. When we see Fleet Street on the screen, we'll see how it was in that period.
Victorian England, it's full of cobbles and reflections of moonlight and shadowy corridors and little lanes and flower markets and shops filled with strange things. It's a very detailed world. It helps you, to believe what you're doing.
There's so many people working on it, and it's just so intricate. Like, really, everything has to be perfect, and, well, it's amazing, like, to watch everything, but I had no idea how much work went on behind it.
The atmosphere is wonderful because it's London, but it's surreal London, which is exactly what is right for the story.
Was Pirelli's miracle elixir.
There's just something a little too much about everything. A few too many rats, a few too many chimneys with black smoke coming out of them. So the whole thing has a kind of lushness, and it makes it much scarier.
This is my pie shop. Mrs. Lovett's Meats Pies. And the pie shop is, at the beginning of the film, isn't doing very well. All I meant is that I haven't seen a customer for weeks. Did you come in for a pie, sir? What is that?
Mrs. Lovett hasn't got a very successful pie shop, so the pies are particularly horrible looking. We're sort of rotting insides and burnt on the outside.
Sit down. Make yourself comfy.
They made them with pieces of corn and dye, so it actually looks really disgusting.
They're not just edible pies, but we have rubber pies, we have pies that are made of fiberglass, and we have pies that we can put in the oven.
I've made 600 pies so far. I think I'll easily make another 600. And then when she starts putting human beings in them, she becomes much more successful, so the pies get a bit better looking.
This is a substance that we've come up with that will represent meat, minced meat. Mrs. Lovett churns it all up. This is meat pie mixture, and it's a secret special effects mix. The chair is obviously, you know, an integral part of Sweeney Todd, and being, you know, a Tim Burton movie, it has its own special quirks.
We spent time on that because, again, it's a character in the movie in a way.
It starts as a plain, dusty, old, hideous parlor chair that Mrs. Lovett brings up to the barber shop.
And you see him building the chair up and going from a normal wooden chair into this mechanical monster.
The way I've dreamed you were, Joanna.
The look of the chair is very particular, and the cogs and the movements all actually do work and becomes this living thing.
We talked about many different ways of chair flipping over.
Goes back, then the chair tips up, and the arms also fold back at the same time. As that's happening, the trap door, the floor goes away.
We felt sort of going down backwards gave it an extra brutal kind of, you know, landing on your head quality. Made it just a final uncomfortable moment for the victims. There were lots of chair rides for the crew. Everybody wanted to try the chair because it was a nice, quick little thrill going backwards.
Johnny was really happy about getting the raises because he goes in for a big song.
These blades are his family. They're the only loves in his life now, you know, that his family's gone.
It's his lifeline, and he realizes, of course, that's how he's going to take revenge.
The razors are very much a key prop in the movie. Tim came to me very early on with a little thumbnail sketch and asked me if I could knock a blade or two up in that particular shape.
The razors are just an extension of him, really.
So we started making different blades for him, different sizes, different lengths, and then they need to work.
Created the blades and the handles, and then gave a set to Johnny.
And then Johnny needs to be comfortable with them.
They needed to be poetic. You need to see why or how this guy fell in love with these things. See this one shine.
Particular blade is something we spoke to Johnny about, and it's a retractable end, and what we do then is stick it into the throat. It's more to see the violence. Another blade that was a particular request from Johnny was to have a blade that had a switch mechanism, okay? You can just imagine the pain that they're going to inflict and the damage that they're going to do. I don't know any member of my crew that hasn't picked one up and had a little shudder and a shiver.
The blades are gorgeous, beautiful.